Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first episode of Ajani Speaks. My name is Ajani Griffith, and the purpose of this podcast is a weekly podcast where I speak on trends and things that are happening in music, entertainment, media, and in the business world. So, without further ado, I'm going to start off the first topic of the first episode of Ajani Speaks, and that's anybody out there can create a brand for themselves online. And this is coming from my personal experience as a music artist, as a songwriter, and being around so many people who've either made it or working toward the goal of becoming a successful musician or producer. So, for my first point, which I will speak on 3 today, for my first point, anybody can become an influencer. We've seen throughout the last decade, with the rise of social media, how so many people, whether they're old, whether they're young, they've built brands online, and many of them have built brands just by posting videos, pictures on Instagram, Facebook, or other social media networks. The fact that many of these people did this by just using a cell phone and a cell phone camera speaks volumes to the power that we have in our hands. And anybody out there can do it. You have the same opportunity cost as many of these people, and you have really no excuse if you want to become a pop star, a pop icon, to do this. So I want to inspire you, for those who want to be a big artist one day, to start this, and start doing it right now. It doesn't matter how good you are, doesn't matter how polished the video looks. There's so much content out there where people are consuming where the quality is not at a professional level, and they're getting lots of views. So I truly believe that anybody who's listening to this out there, just go ahead and start right now. So for my second point, you have to be patient. And I think that's a given. Why? Because brands are not built in a day. Any brand worth talking about was not built in a day. Whether we look at multinational brands like Nike or McDonald's or Burger King or Reebok or Adidas, you cannot expect to have a brand where people respect it in a couple weeks or a couple months. It takes time to build a brand. So in digital, if you don't get the results as quickly as you want, remind yourself, it's going to take time to build that audience. You might have to put in some work, just because you tried something, just because you deployed an ad on Facebook for the first time and didn't work, doesn't mean that your brand isn't worth, or your brand isn't of value. It just means, you might need to try something different in terms of how you deliver your content and your message out to the world. And the last point I don't want to touch up on today is stay consistent, because consistency is the most important thing. In marketing, we're fighting for attention, and this includes in the digital world. There's 3 billion people on the internet, and that means there's lots of noise going on. And if we don't recognize this, and if we don't stray away from putting out content, reaching out to your fans on a consistent basis, they'll just forget about you and they'll go to your competitor, and you don't want that. So if you're a music artist, if you are someone who's starting out as a professional in the music business and you want to build a personal brand online, whether you're doing a vlog, podcast, or writing articles on the internet, make sure you do it on a consistent basis, because you don't want to lose your audience. And that's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. I am so happy that I've done this podcast, and I hope you've taken value from it. And until next time, my name is Ajani Griffith. I'll see you next week.